Will this by-election be fought on local or national issues?
I think both on local and national issues, because I think that in any by-election you'll always come in and there will be local issues. But I think we've got to focus very much on national issues and to say to the SNP, this is how we think we can do better.
You were saying there just about college cuts being a big issue. Will Labour pledge to restore all the cuts the SNP have made?
Well, it's very, very difficult, and obviously that's not just a matter for me, that's a matter for Labour nationally. Once if I do get elected, I'll be able to have a voice in that, but it's not a matter
Would you
for
like
me.
to see them restored?
Well, I think that one of the things we have to do is we have to see where the money comes from and how we can do some of these things. But at the minute, it's about holding the SNP to account and saying, look, this is what you've done. You've said this, but you're actually doing this, and that's one of the things that we need to get across to the people of Aberdeen Donside.
Out with the Constitution, Joanne Lamont's made a very, very big thing of whether or not, in terms of cuts, and you're a councillor, so you live with the reality of cuts, whether or not universal free provision on stuff is sustainable in the longer term. Would you, for example, like to see students pay a bit for their education?
I think these are things that we have to look at in the round. But what I would say is that we have to focus on the colleges, because in my constituency, in the Bridge of Dawn, we have many people who need to go to college and can't go to university, but they need to go to college to get the education, to get apprenticeships. So these are the things that we really need to focus on first.
The party will obviously take a decision in all of these, but you personally, as a candidate, do you favour graduates making a contribution to the studies?
Well, what I do say is, again, I mean, we'd have to look at that. I mean,
sorry, you personally, do you personally favour that they should make a contribution?
Well, it's a difficult question to answer.
It's a straightforward one.
It isn't really. I mean, what we'd have to do is we have to look at all of these things. But I want to focus more on.
Do you agree or do you not agree that graduates should make a contribution?
I'll tell you what I want to do. I want to focus on the issues of Aberdeen Donside. I want to speak to go out there and
but
onto
my question was quite
doorstep.
specific. My question was quite specific on a graduate contribution. Do you agree with it or do you not?
I want to go onto the doorsteps and I want to speak to people and I want to see exactly what they're saying, and I want to listen to what they're saying, and I will tell them what I will be able to do. I think we need to really focus on jobs, housing, and on college places, because I think that's very, very important.
Do you agree with free bus passes for people who are at work?
Sorry?
Do you agree with free bus passes for people who are in work?
Yes, I do. I think that one of the things that Labour did bring forward was the free bus passes.
Do you agree with free personal care?
I think that these are things, again, that I do agree with, and that what Labour brought forward was the free personal care. And I think that was the right thing to do at the time.
You support free personal care, you support free bus passes in their current form, which the party, of course, is reviewing.
Yes.
But on graduates making a contribution, your position is?
Well, it's something I'd have to look at. It's something I'd have to look at. But I do, what I will say to you is...
You don't have a view on it?
I have a view, but
what is that view?
What I would say to you is that I think that in Aberdeen Donside, I need to go out there and I need to focus on some of the issues that people...
But what is your view on graduates making a contribution to higher education?
People are speaking to me about college cuts. They're not speaking to me about what you're asking. They are speaking to me about...
How much of the SNP cut the college budget by?
I couldn't tell you that specifically. I couldn't tell you what...
Would Labour restore the cuts?
Well, one of these things is that what we'd have to do is I'd have to speak to various people. It's not just about me and Labour being able to do that. I would have to if I get elected, obviously it's a matter for the party and how we bring that forward.
In order to combat cuts which are being made in communities, should councils, if they weren't shackled by central government, have the ability to increase council tax?
I think it's one of the things, absolutely, that we should be able to do. I think that one of the things that's handicapped councils is the council tax itself, absolutely.
If Mr Swinney wasn't saying, if you increase council tax, we cut your budget further, if that, if you like, threat wasn't there, would you support an increase in council tax to protect local services?
Well, what I would do, I would be looking to see how much we can get in council tax, because I do think that council tax is something for local members to determine. So yes, I would suggest that it is up to the local authority to determine its council tax, absolutely. I think that's the right thing to do.
And in the current climate, given what's happening, would you support an increase in council tax?
Well, I think what would have to happen is that all individual councils would have to determine its position. Can they work within that budget? I think that's the right thing that they would have to do. But if councils were in a position where before there was a freeze on council taxes, where they said, yes, I'd like to put up council tax, then that's something that you go to the people and you say, I need to put up your council tax and this is what I'll give you in return. So these are definitely matters for council.
You need a 13.5% swing to win. Is it doable?
Absolutely. I think it is doable, because I think it's doable for two reasons. One, I believe in Labour's values, and I remember that this seat was held by Labour originally. And two, I think in a by-election, we will go out and we will speak to the people. And when you do speak to the people, I think they'll come round to what Labour's thinking.
Thank you very much, Steve.
Thank you.
Cheers.